So welcome everybody to another episode of the Brewmasters Club cast. Here is what you have to look forward to in tonight's episode.
Shots.
Okay, somebody's having shots.
Yes, you do. Just pour them.
All right.
50,000 for you.
That's not how economies work. That's not a sustain.
No, I know. I'm just
Obviously.
saying, I'm thinking through my thoughts here, Donnie. I'm really...
Being the Craft Brews Geek News podcast, got a formal media invitation to the Great American Beer Festival.
I was saying Dentown, Coloradington.
Yes.
Can't wait. That's a dumpster fire on wheels.
I shaved the dog, okay? I had responsibility.
Is that what we're calling it?
Oh,
Oh, boy. If you're looking for itches to scratch, Grand Theft Auto prostitutes are definitely a way to do that.
Oh, jeez. No, I don't want. No, I don't.
That's saying, I need 300 space credits.
No. Wait, 300? I'll give you 300 right now.
300,000.
No. Deal's off.
how does that equate to Louse bucks?
How does that equate to Louse bucks?
We went from tweetings to blowing in like 3 seconds.
I didn't do any of that.
That's making it on the blooper reel.
Crazy mother.
Welcome to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Sit back, pour yourself a pint, and let's get into it. Now here's the founder of the Brewmasters Club and your host, Donnie Gallagher.
Welcome, craft beer. My name is Donnie. You are listening to the Craft Brews and Geek News podcast. It is officially the podcast of the Brewmasters Club. We talk about national stories, local flavors, and our favorite geeky nuggets of pop culture. Who could possibly speak to these topics and more besides the great panel here at Craft Brews and Geek News? Mr. Lousman, how you doing, sir?
Yeesh. Doing good.
Oh, geez, that was a reach.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. We are also joined by this evening, Mr. Brewed Boy 813. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Wearing my favorite color too. So
baby blue for those that are
blue.
visually challenged for this
Yes.
podcast.
Well, we were talking about blue, so I figured, well, I might as well just intro that.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here this evening. And of course, the panel, thank you for joining us as well. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We've got a couple really solid craft beer stories, and we've got a couple other big things that I'm very excited about, as if you guys can't tell my tone and overall demeanor here. I'm also wearing my independent craft beer pen, which is great. Ryan, I think you just got yours recently.
I did. Yes. It was,
Perfect.
It was exciting when I opened up that envelope. Finally, it arrived.
For the record, he was in support of it the entire time since, 2-3 months ago?
Yeah,
but he
pretty much.
just now got his pin.
Yep.
We'll bring this up later, but before we do, we like to kick things off with a very special and highly enjoyed segment we call What Are You Drinking? What Are You Going to Drink? In this segment, if you're new to the podcast, we kind of go around the table here and talk about what we've been drinking, what are we going to drink, and any other kind of beer-related news that we know about in terms of what's happening in our individual households. Boys, who is ready to kick us off?
I could do it.
Perfect.
Yeah. I have, actually want to show off the can a little bit. I know it's good radio, but I have not the Hopsecutioner. I have the Terrapin Chopsecutioner, which I don't know if anyone knows anything about this. I had to do some research today because what it is they actually took it even says on the can itself, it says it's not Hopsecutioner, but it's in the ballpark. This, of course, is their Atlanta Braves themed Hopsecutioner. I got it in clearance at Publix.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna make this up verbatim here. It uses 6 types of hops, and then it uses the same wood commonly used to make baseball bats. It's fermented in that. So or it's aged in it, I guess I should say. So it's actually aged in the wood used to make baseball bats, which is very weird.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool though. That's like Budweiser, and how they always did their Beechwood aging. But it's neat that they actually did it on real life baseball bats that were used in the stadium.
Well, I don't even know how that worked because I had to ask around. I was like, how does that work? Did they just use the old bats? Like, what do they do with
Be a lot
that?
of pine tar on those.
I mean, but it's got a little. The little guy's got a little tomahawk and he's playing baseball. The little terrapin.
That's
turtle.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty
pretty
cool.
solid. Yeah. It's weird, if I'm honest, but it's starting to grow on me after 2 of these.
Wait till
Very
you get to
good.
the 6th one.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Or the bottom of the 9th.
Oh,
They only come in a 4-pack. I don't know how it
all
happened.
right.
Well, you have to buy one at one
Way
point.
to ruin the joke.
Buy 3 4-packs, trash 3 of them, and
And then go to extra innings.
wish I had extra innings. I have to work tomorrow.
Well, that sounds delicious. Are you enjoying it?
I am. It's weird though. It doesn't. It tastes. You can taste the baseball.
Oh, it's frothy. It's a nice floral palate on the it's refreshing.
It just-
The quaff. How's the quaff? Is it very much like a stadium?
Nah, we ain't talking about Quidditch, bro. It's
How
baseball.
those laces tasted.
Yeah, we play baseball here in America.
I wonder if anybody does age like beer on like weird stuff like a baseball.
I don't know about the actual baseball itself. That'd be weird.
I mean, could you imagine the flavor it would give, or like an old mitt?
This
Leather?
is a weird.
You want to drink leather?
I don't know. What would it do?
Probably tastes like a baseball bat beer.
Then you could do a barrel-aged autograph baseball. That would be cool. Just a bunch of autograph baseballs soaking up beer. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
How does
Just a
that
bunch of
work?
ink resonating just comes out like tar.
Yeah, it just tastes like permanent marker.
I don't know. That sounds awful, but the beer you're actually drinking sounds good. Ryan, what do you got this evening?
Homebrew. That's what I got. Yes.
What is it?
So I modified my my red ale. Instead of using 20 or 10, 20, and 60, I use 60 and 120 caramel malts, as well as a nice pale ale crisp. I actually brewed it with Cascade, and then when it was ready, I dry hopped it with an ounce of Chinook and an ounce of Eureka hops. Which,
I thought Eureka was a sneeze or something.
Yeah, I thought he
Oh,
actually just discovered something. He was like, "My God, Eureka!" He's looking at a piece of paper and everything. It's quite cool.
It's actually the receipt to remind me of, because I always get Cascade and Chinook mixed up. I don't know how, I just do. I don't know. But even still, it actually came out really nice. It's light bodied. The only thing I had a question about, which anybody listening out there that's a home brewer, maybe you can send me a line and help me out. I did use Warflock tablets for this one, and Donnie on
For clarity. Yeah.
Yes, those are for clarity. So it took all the proteins out. When I had it into the primary fermentation, it was clear. I could see everything. When I had it in secondary, it was clear. It wasn't until I transferred to the bucket and actually did the dry hop phase that it lost its clarity. Now, I don't know if that's from the hops that I added because I just freely hopped it, but I would have thought that some of that would have kept it clear. So if anybody out there can maybe help me out and figure out what I did wrong, it should be a very clear red ale, almost like a Killian's. Killian's is pretty clear in some degrees, a lot darker, but it's still very tasty, delicious, and everything else. So that was the only thing that I think went wrong with this beer, is that it didn't finish clear like I thought it would. So cheers.
Well, fantastic. And that's why we have a community here dedicated to people talking about craft beer. It's great. Ryan, I don't want to cut you off, but you saw me pour this a little early. Look at this head retention and name what beer you think this is. I know it's bad radio again, but
I'm going to say it's yours.
Lipstick on a Zombie Pig. Right here, my friends.
It's alive.
Full head retention. So this is the story that I wanted to tell you, because I've shared this bottle. I literally have, after this one, I have 3 left. And I know it's not a lot, but I've shared a ton of bottles because look at this beer come back from the dead. Ryan, I gave you a beer. It was flat as hell. I had a beer. It was flat as hell. It's because I literally had brewed the Lipstick on a Zombie Pig. Quick recap for anyone that hasn't had this beer before or knows what we're talking about. There was a brewery, Lakeland Brewery, that made a pale ale, right? It was called Pig Beer, correct, Louse? You chime in when I'm saying something wrong. But the Pig Beer, what they had was just a regular pale ale. And then they added some strawberry, basil, and black pepper to it and called it Lipstick on a Pig. So circa late 2017, the brewery closed down. Maybe summer 2017.
It was actually January of this year.
This year. So it was January of 18. So January of 18, this brewery closed down. But every moment that I was introduced to that brewery since then, every time you came over to Louse, what did I ask you to bring me?
Lipstick on a Pig.
Lipstick on a Pig, which was this fantastic blend of a pale ale and strawberry and basil with a little hint of some peppery, black pepper. So I was recently on a vacation. We totally glossed off on this, but if you look at our YouTube channel, so it's you can find us on YouTube at Craft Brews and Geek News, new YouTube channel name, which is still there. Yeah, so that's all. We're transitioning over to the full brand here, but if you check out those videos, I posted a bunch of videos, including an exclusive interview from me in Costa Rica at a local craft brewery in Costa Rica, where we talked about all this stuff. Regardless, we got back to the States. I checked my fridge, and I had accidentally, and just again, as Ryan asked a question about home brewing, my ignorance as to home brewing is to, what happens. I had cold crashed the beer, and then I had bottled it immediately and stuck it in the fridge for bottle conditioning. Well, when I'm gone for a week and the fridge doesn't open, the temperature dropped way below what was normal. So the beer ended up resting at a temperature that made the yeast stay relatively dormant, which created no additional fermentation or CO2 creation in the bottles themselves. So what I learned is that all I had to do was put the beers back into regular storage in a closet or somewhere a little bit warmer, and they actually brought themselves back to life, thus creating a true lipstick on a zombie pig, which is exactly what we're calling this beer. So as much as I didn't want it to turn out like that, it truly lives up to its name as Lipstick on a Zombie Pig. We brought this beer back from the dead, not only once, but twice. And this exact recipe is what I think is refined from the first version that we tried, Ryan. It's definitely the way to do it. The only thing I need to do on this beer differently is to use a more of a standard pale ale base. I use the sweeter base, more of an American pale ale with a higher ABV, which made it a little bit sweeter, a little bit more malty. It needs to have a little bit more of a kick to it, a little bit less of this, a little bit more clarity, and a little bit more. I mean, obviously the amber color came from the American pale ale version of it, but if this was a little bit more of a pale ale, which Louse, I mean, the color of the zombie or the lipstick on a pig. A lot lighter than this, but what I've learned is that you need to go a little bit lighter on the pale ale side and then dry hop the same way that I did, which was with strawberry, basil, black pepper, all in secondary fermentation right before bottling, and it turns out really well. But we've talked about this beer almost every episode, but I promise you, it's just like your jalapeno, Ryan. Like we talked about it and refined it. Yeah. I really think that we're at a good point with this beer, and I really love it. So
I wish I wouldn't have already drank my bottle. Now I know the secret, because you gave me the bottle and it had a little sticky note on it, said don't open till a certain date.
Yeah.
And so when I drank it, it was as you had, no carbonation. So I'm glad to see that it came back to life. I could have left it outside the fridge for a week, and that probably would have worked.
I didn't realize that would have solved the problem. I didn't realize it was a problem because you and I drank it on the same day. So I didn't realize there was a problem until I had opened mine. But the resolution was let it sit and do a week longer of an aging process outside the fridge, let that yeast come back to life, and it would have snapped right back. But even now, I mean, even talking about 15 minutes, the head retention's there, the flavor's there, it's there. I know what we need to do to make Lipstick on a Zombie Pig work. So
cool.
Fantastic. One beer that I did want to hint on, just because I was drinking it early this evening at the Lowry Parkade, a frequent spot of ours, one of our future live gig episodes, which, by the way, guys, we should probably do like in August. I'd love to do another live gig in August. But it was it puts the cucumber on its skin or it gets the goes again from Seventh Son Brewery. Very good stuff. Very light, 3.5% for a sour. Very drinkable, strong cucumber note on the finish and the aroma. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this beer, and I had two of them this evening. So I just want to say, if we're drinking beer, what we're going to drink, I'll definitely drink that again. And I don't have many more of the Lipstick on a Zombie Pig to drink. So.
Cucumber beers, by the way, Donnie, some of them will smell really funky, but they're delicious. So don't let a cucumber beer turn you off. If you've never had one, go try one. But it's a little pungent-y, it's a little different. But man, when you start drinking it, it's like one of the best flavors ever.
I totally agree. And I think I've told you several times, I love coconut and I like cucumber. And I like that flavor in a beer. So I'm always down to do that. I also love strawberry basil. The other thing I want to try, raspberry cucumber. I want to try that kind of flavor, a blackberry cucumber, and see what that kind of. I've tried
tomatoes
flavors.
and cucumber, maybe.
I'm not putting tomato in my beer. I don't think so.
Hey,
but
you sent me a
I know,
pizza beer,
I know.
so I don't want to hear that.
Well, that was actually a submission from the.
What about
Pico
cherry?
beer
What about cherry tomatoes and cucumber?
Tomatoes scare me. I don't know.
Yeah,
But cherry tomatoes.
They're the same. They're just small. They're just tiny.
But
Those
they're
are
like
weird.
they're like a cherry, but they're a tomato.
All right. Well, as much as I want to talk about tomato sauce beer,
Cherry tomatoes.
cherry tomato sauce beer, we have to move on. We have plenty of stories here, and one I'm really eager to get to. First off, guys, I don't know if you read the notes or checked it out, but how would you like to pay your age for beer? Some a decimal or two, but there's a Virginia Beach brewery that's making a Build-A-Beer twist and adding the Build-A-Beer. Build-A-Beer, that's clever. Build-A-Bear twist and adding the beer factor to it. Last Thursday, they had an event where customers got to pay the decimal of their age per pint per beer. For example, if you're 21, you pay $2.10 a beer, etc. The event was posted after the Build-A-Bear announcement line that their stores were closed nationwide because of large crowds and long lines. I'm sure, Ryan, you as a father, you've recognized that was an issue, because I'm sure were girls at all concerned with that, or did they not get the news?
I'm just now getting the news.
So the promotion was Build-A-Bear said, listen, you pay your age. So I guess customers just like this went in and they were able to pay whatever they wanted to, whatever their age was for Build-A-Bears. The problem is that as soon as they announced that promotion, they had lines out the door in every location nationwide. It was just about shut down due to overcrowding.
So a buddy of mine, actually, his wife was off work that day and took their two children, and she sent a picture that was truly horrifying of the Brandon Square Mall or whatever. And it was just shoulder to shoulder everywhere for probably, I could see in just the one picture, I could probably see about 100 to 200 people just standing shoulder to shoulder. And they were all trying to get Build-A-Bears for an 8-year-old child. It would be $8. And I was like, well, good thing we didn't take our 102-year-old grandma. They're like, they capped it at 35. I was like, okay, well, I was like, way to ruin that joke.
Well, the good thing about the Brandon Mall, where that store is positioned, you have to pass through On Ann's Pretzels and also Starbucks. So there is something to do whilst killing the time. Just saying.
No, it was straight up Jumanji in there. There was no one getting a delicious pretzel at that moment. Everyone was just miserable that they tried to buy a bear for $8.
Well, so Build-A-Bears cost $10 to $25, depending on what model of bear and complicity that you get. But I didn't realize that kind of a thing would be such a huge deal. But I got the tweets that they were like, Build-A-Bear nationwide is closed. I'm like, why? I guess that's just not a circle that we all run in. So I don't.
Wouldn't that be cool though if you could really pay your age and stuff? The concept's kind of there. Volume of sales offsets percentages. Eventually, you're going to break even. But I'd hate to be running a car dealership and have some 21-year-old kid and be like, hey, this car's $21,000 for you, and then have some 50-year-old man and be like, this car's $50,000 for you.
That's not how economies work. It's not a sustain.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I'm thinking through my thoughts here, Donnie. I'm really thinking through.
Saying, if you haven't learned anything from the Build-A-Bear experiment, it doesn't work like that. So I don't think that's a logical progression of how we handle finances in this modern economy. But hey, good on them for the brewery, right? Craft beer shop in Virginia Beach. That's cool. I think that's a fun thing to do once a month or once a year. But it certainly it carried down all the way off of a waterfall effect from the stupid Build-A-Bear promotion. So at the end of the day, Build-A-Bear is the genius here, not this brewery. So
Ryan just wants to know how many Build-A-Bears he can use to buy his truck. He wants to trade up for this Build-A-Bear world.
Trading up for the Build-A-Bear.
Dude, guys, it's a Build-A-Bear world out there. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh man.
I totally agree. And you know what the funny thing is about building on up? We, being the Craft Brews and Geek News podcast, got a formal media invitation to the Great American Beer Festival for 2018. Boys, are you not excited about that?
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So let me shine some light on those of you that aren't aware. We have covered the Great American Beer Fest for the last 2 years since we've done this podcast. We always talk about what beers are going to be posing the competition, what beers have won, who's the latest brewer, the biggest brewer. Remember last year, wasn't it it was last year the best IPA was the Bell's Two Hearted IPA. That didn't that win the whole competition, and since then we've kind of talked about it a couple times. So we now will be in attendance at the Great American Beer Festival 2018, the 37th consecutive year in a row, and we actually got invited. I think it's a very special thing. This is going to be held in Denver, Colorado, of course. So it'll be a nice big road trip for the boys here. And we're going to record all of this at our entire journey, along with 62,000 other attendees, with the opportunity to sample 4,000 beers from over 800 breweries in a nationwide celebration of craft beer. Again, if you're not aware, Thursday, September 20th through Saturday, September 22nd, the Great American Beer Fest will represent the largest collection of U.S. craft beer ever served in the format of a public tasting event plus a privately judged competition dubbed by Thrillist as the one beer festival you must go to before you die. This has been going on since 1982. Beer lovers and brewers from all corners of the country come to celebrate the nation's ever-growing craft beer culture. Great American Beer Fest tickets will be available for purchase for the general public on August 1st at 10 a.m. Boys and girls, tickets start at $85 for public release, and they include a commemorative tasting cup, unlimited one ounce samples of more than 4,000 beers. So technically, Louse, man, if you're going for the record, 4,000 ounces.
Or a tiny little tube that runs from the cup.
You get a festival guide and a free app, of course, access to educational interactive seminars focused on beer appreciation, opportunity to speak with the personalities behind the beers in a Meet the Brewer section. Ryan, you can get another copy of that book signed by Sam Caliglione himself.
Bring it with me. Bring it with me.
I mean, bring it with you if you want. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of other merch. I just want like a coaster or something signed. They're going to have karaoke, silent disco, live DJ, and more. It's going to be a blast. And boys, we are going. Take that in for a second. Denver, Colorado, September 22 at the very least.
Oh my
Here
gosh.
we come.
Oh yeah, I can already see us there. What's that? That's like 8 weeks. That's 8 weeks from now.
I have been overly excited. But Lousman, what were you saying?
I was saying Dentown, Coloradington.
Yes.
Can't wait. It might be my very fun time.
It is called the Mile High City for a reason.
Oh boy. I don't get mixed up in that.
No, I'm not. I'll be there for the beer only, and I think we literally only be there for a day. But man, it sounds like a great time. I think that we're even if just to go as a beer fan, if you've got the opportunity, the availability to do so, I highly suggest going. We've always wanted to go. Again, we've covered this year in, year out. It always happens in the fall time. It's always around the same date. It just sounds like an absolute blast. I know there's a bunch of Florida breweries. Ryan, do you know of any? I mean, I know this all happened today on this halo of all news days, but it just happened. Do you know of anybody from here, any breweries that you've talked to that will actually be there?
To my knowledge at this time, no. But I don't know if they've posted the breweries that are going to be there. They'll probably do it whenever they release the tickets. No, that's what I would think.
I mean, they probably will. You're right. And I think actually last year, I think Chris was there from 610.
Yeah,
I believe 610 was there. I mean, I know Cigar City was there off the top of my head, of course. But I think you can find more information not only about like the ticket sales, which do open on August 1st at 10 a.m. Mountain time. So it's really noon It is noon. I'm doing the same thing around. It is noon, actually EST. But you can pick those up at that point. You can see the sponsors. You can see who's going to be in the competition. But what I love about this is that they always come out of this thing with, hey, these are the new beer styles that are for 2019. Now we're going to look at fruit shandies or fruit lager or whatever it is that comes out of this thing. There's a lot of beer to be drank and a lot of breweries to network with. Like, can you guys imagine just walking around there just talking to every major 800 major breweries in the United States? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's amazing.
I feel like I'm gonna get lost.
Keep your cell phone.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ryan, this is a unique opportunity where if you get lost and there's that many different craft beers around, you should leave yourself a Hansel and Gretel style breadcrumb trail. You'd be like, okay, I tried this Saison, and then after that, I tried the, and you could just you drink your way back to the beginning. It's perfect.
Oh, and it does say, by the way, on the website, breweries coming, or 2018 participating breweries coming soon. So yes, they have not released the list on their website, but if you go to greatamericanbeerfestival.com and click breweries and beers, I'm sure in a couple of days they will be posted. So
very cool. Very cool. So yes, that is something that we're going to be talking about here probably just about every podcast. We've only got 4 podcasts between now and then. So wow. So please,
it's going to move quick.
It's going to move very quickly. But if you guys want to stay in step with us, please pay attention to the Facebook group that we have. It's Craft Brews Geek News on Facebook. It is a free flow conversation that we have with everybody out there listening to us and everybody out there that's participating with us and what we do and supporting what we do by supporting the breweries that we all love. So please continue to engage with us on that group. Again, on Facebook, it's Craft Brews Geek News. Not hard to find. Just subscribe to the channel here for more information. I want to see if we can get a discount ticket link or something like that. But in the meantime, GABF is coming, my friends, and we will be there to report live, large, and in charge, my friends. So I'm very excited. Hope you guys will see you there.
Hell yeah!
All right, you Gamp.
I said Gamp.
Gamp.
We should all wear funny shirts that say like Gamp or bust or something like that.
I know a place.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah, I'm all about funny shirts.
Although, speaking of funny shirts, hey, just to harken back to last week's news. I think it was just last week's news.
It was. Yeah.
Last week's news. So last week's news, I have a shirt idea that we need to talk about. It says where was Lando then, with a picture of his face. Just saying. I think there's possibility there.
You're looking at somebody that can't help you anymore, Donnie.
Well, we'll just put it on teespring.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually,
I got connections.
Teespring gives us revenue. So
there you go.
That goes right to us.
Perfect.
Anyway, we're moving into our geek news section. We will drink it on in, send it on back. Are you guys stoked? And have you seen the notes
for
the geek news section? Drink it on in, send it on back. Do I need to repeat myself entirely? Or just buy you a few minutes to watch the trailer?
Is there a sky involved?
No, there is No Man's Sky involved.
There you go.
Oh my God. You're the worst.
That's a dumpster fire on wheels.
I got nothing. I know. I didn't get to watch it. You said literally last night we had nothing. This morning we had everything. I didn't get to watch it.
I literally texted.
I shaved the dog. Okay, I had responsibility.
Is that what we're calling it?
Oh
boy.
Hey man, you just got.
It's Wag the Dog Part 2. I don't know.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot tail.
Oh my God. Should I watch this trailer now? I can do that.
Don't watch it via GameStop. I texted you a link. Watch it.
I'll watch it.
Watch it up.
What's the problem with that?
You can watch it. Just GameStop has an ad, and then they'll show the trailer.
Oh. So it looked cool. The picture looked cool.
Sweet pick, bro.
Louse, I really need your opinion on it, though. So go ahead and watch the trailer. We'll pause this.
I've already watched it. It's fine. I've already seen it. So yeah, can I get my opinion now?
Yeah. So let's. Okay. So essentially, let me give the build up for it. So Ryan, if you're just drinking and watching a trailer, make sure you mute yourself.
Oh, you won't be able to hear it from my TV. I won't play it on the cell phone.
Okay. All right. So So yes, the No Man's Sky trailer was released today by some act of God as we were about to launch our new format Tuesday night recording of the podcast. Boys, this thing is the trailer and the game I have always been waiting for since I delved into this after me and Louse Man, after I impromptu bought a PlayStation 4 one sacred Black Friday in 2017. What, Louse? Why are you shaking your head?
I worked so hard and I ate so many ramen noodles for that thing. And you were like, I guess I'm already standing in line. And you're like, you just like one side step in. You're like, I guess I'm getting one. And I was like, oh, fuck off.
Remember, I almost bought two.
Yeah, you did.
I have FOMO, man. Like, I can't stand it. Like, I had to get it because you were getting it. And I'm like, well, if you're going to play video games, I want to play video games with you and all of our buddies. And that's what we did.
And then we could all play PlayStation.
We could all play Nintendo DS. Also referring, of course, to a Rick and Morty sketch of where Rick wanted to buy everyone Nintendo DSs because he got them on wholesale. What was it?
He figured out mathematically how to get them from Walmart and resell them from like really, really cheap, and so then they can each buy their own 3DSs and they can play old Nintendo games. I mean,
as a brilliant argument. You can't really mess with that logic, but in that same respect, No Man's Sky has been out for over 2 years and fans have been divided. We've talked about division and fan base, various titles such as Star Wars,
The Division,
Star Trek, mainly Star Wars of recent history here with The Last Jedi, but this is a new concept that fully has brought the game to what was promised to fans over 2 years ago. Most recently, Louse Man, did someone not get or did get this game for their birthday present here in the early part of July?
I did get that.
I don't know I wouldn't know how to answer that either. I kind of botched that up.
I figured 3 would cover it. Yeah, I got that game. I got the game for my birthday. Yay. Thank you.
This new update titled Next is one in succession. It's technically 1.4 out of the game release. If you think about that on a scale, they have had 3 releases that have came out up until this point, which is titled Next. It is Next in all caps for No Man's Sky, and it is essentially the quintessential update that will unite a final third-person view, multiplayer, high-resolution, fully rendered experience for everyone that's been paying attention to No Man's Sky. And this is released next Tuesday, which I hope I said correctly, the 25th. Next Wednesday, the 25th. It's crazy that it's happening that soon, and we are here. Unlikely from the past and previous launches of these updates, from No Man's Sky actually released a trailer about 3 hours ago. It's brilliant. They've officially confirmed multiplayer, which allows players to team up with small teams of friends to explore the universe together or be joined by random members of the community. You can help your friends stay alive or prey on others to survive. You can actually build tiny shelters or complex colonies that are all shared by multiple players. Fight as pirates, wingmen, and win epic battles with friends and enemies. Race exocrafts across weird alien terrains, creating racetracks and trails to share online. In addition to all that, it also adds a layer of character customization, a visual makeover, improved terrain generation, significantly more detailed added to ships, NPCs and buildings, new planetary rings, improved space visuals, and on top of that, there's a third-person perspective involved. I got 2 more points to make. There's base building. There's huge updates with multiple bases anywhere on one single planet, which was very much previously. It was one planet or one system, one base per system. Now it's multiple bases per planet, and it could be anywhere between 1, 2, or 3, 5, 10 planets in one system, which is a huge update, which means that all of us could have the same planet that we all live on and work on. In addition to that, there's the ability to command freighters, so we can have Star Wars scale battles that take place between a single freighter captained by me with you guys standing in the cockpit area and then my 18 freighters fighting someone else's freighters. It's amazing. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to No Man's Sky and space simulators in the last 2 years. I am frankly excited about it. I know that was a lot of talking. How do you guys feel?
My initial thoughts are this may be a rocky launch. And the only reason I say that is because this
It's a
is,
lot.
well, it sounds just like Grand Theft Auto, except less prostitutes. Hopefully none. But just less prostitutes and less like drive-bys from Impalas. I mean, a lot of those things that you said are things that you can do in Grand Theft Auto, be at a much smaller scale, that it's one city the size of Los Angeles. And I don't even think it's all of Los Angeles. So that was really rough for Rockstar, and they're a big boy company.
I hope that it is very similar to Grand Theft Auto, as in the ability that you have to turn off every other jackass that's playing within you, and you can just play with your buddies, because that's how I want to play. I'm not a big PvP player. I don't really want to just be walking around and have somebody blow my ass up and take all my stuff. I don't want that. But what I do want to do is that you, me, and Ryan can have a community on a planet where we share resources and build this big thing, and ultimately just mess around and make money or do whatever to make this environment that we're building a little bit more interesting. That's what I want to do, but I don't know how the logistics of that will work out.
So more prostitutes.
Not well, space ones like with green alien tendrils and weird danglies.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, yeah, I completely...
You want the danglies. I get it that you want the danglies.
Some people buy it for the danglies. You never know. But the Grand Theft Auto aspect of it, I think it's the most accurate because, yeah, a lot of people, I would say, okay, so I've recently got back into Grand Theft Auto Online and PlayStation especially. And, I'm going to say 90% of that game is wondering if the person you've just come across is going to kill you or not, or if you could just get away from them. And like, that's fun for a while. But at the end of the day, like, I kind of wish we were all moving towards something, or like maybe a big battle or something like that. Maybe it was a little less like, all right, I see you, I'm going to hide from you, and then just run away. Like, I found that I did that for an entire evening once and was very upset with my time because I was like, no, I just wanted to play, like, and hang out and do heists and stuff like that. So I hope they can nail the teamwork from the get-go and maybe provide a lot of servers that would have, closed matches where you can have 4 people or something like that are buddies that are all going to work together. I hope nobody gets in there and just self-destructs all their freighters around your planet and sends it all to oblivion. So I hope that's the case, but I think that'll be an on-off switch where they can kind of be like PvP, P with P. I don't know what that is. What is it on Grand Theft Auto? It's like player versus player, or like co-op? I think it's co-op. Yeah, it's co-op. Well, it's actually a lot of things. Like, that's the beauty of Grand Theft Auto, is it's developed into this crazy thing. So now, if you wanted to just take on hordes of NPCs, you can do that. If you wanted to make it 20 versus 20, PvP, you could do that. If you want it to be just 6 jackasses pushing each other off of a dartboard, you can also do that. I mean, that's fine. Or you can do Tron stuff. Personal favorite right there. I call it Tron stuff. I don't know what it's actually called.
See, I think that's the natural progression of it. But at first glance, this thing was, again, this is all procedurally generated. So the point of the game is not to do Tron stuff or to be trapped in Los Angeles and be killing people and fucking prostitutes. Like, that's not what it is. What it is about the game itself is exploration. So imagine that, you're able to just go and explore with buddies in any random direction and never meet another player, but see randomly generated planets and creatures and star systems and suns and moons and resources that you never knew existed. Like, that's the beauty of No Man's Sky. And that's what I think this will turn into. So apples and oranges, if you're talking about No Man's Sky compared to GTA, because it just isn't the same. But it does scratch a different itch. So I think 6 months ago when I picked this up, and we probably have it recorded here on the podcast, is that when I was looking for this game, it was like, I want something we don't have Star Wars coming for the next year and a half, 2 years, whatever. So I want some sort of space sim that will scratch that itch to actually like get me to really just enjoy exploring space. And that's what this game has done. Now that they're making it better with multiplayer to enjoy amongst friends, it seems like a win-win.
If you're looking for itches to scratch, Grand Theft Auto prostitutes are definitely a way to do that.
Oh, jeez, no, I don't want. No, I don't.
Just
That's not.
saying.
I think that verbiage was taken way out of control. Way.
He didn't mean literal scratch.
Those itches don't go away.
Those
I would
burn.
I would like to take just a brief moment, though, not to take anything away from No Man's Sky. I just a brief shout out to Grand Theft Auto. They recently did an update. I'll keep this short. They did an update where everyone who signed in for a specific week period, a couple days later, would then get.
Hold on. Before you break this, it's not. This is not in Grand Theft Auto. This is Rockstar as a company backing their product. But go ahead, just to preface it correctly.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Rockstar backing their product. For Grand Theft Auto 5, they had a time period from late June to early July that if you logged in and all you had to do was just get online, just turn it on, be online for a couple of seconds. Come July 9th, you would then be rewarded with $300,000 for being on the guest list, quote unquote, for their new update for nightclubs. So
these were Grand Theft Auto dollars, though, not actual dollars. Just for the record.
Money. Yeah,
okay.
Just for the record.
In video game money, that's it.
Yeah, in video game money, it's like that doesn't really equate to a whole lot in actual USD, but. So I logged in, talked to Buddy into buying the game. He logged in. July 9th rolled around. He got awarded the money, and I didn't get anything. So kind of taken aback, kind of upset. It just stuck with me for the couple of hours that we played that night. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to pursue this. So I went on to the Rockstar social club and followed the forums there and whatnot, and was able to send an email to Rockstar stating, it's pretty solid. I won't go verbatim through the email, but it was to the tune of, Dear Rockstar, I played your video game Grand Theft Auto 5 when you told me to, and I wasn't awarded $300,000. That's kind of frustrating. Can you please help? And it took about 24 hours, maybe a day and a half. And somebody wrote me back, said, hey, we see that you attempted to log in. We don't know what happened. We're going to award you the in-game cash. And so $300,000 was waiting for me when I turned my PlayStation back on to Grand Theft Auto. So that is a huge isn't
that awesome?
That was big, because you know what? Like I would have been behind all my buddies. I wouldn't have been able to hang with them and buy all the stuff that they bought. They bought apartments and trucks and stuff like that. And Rockstar support, they actually were able to follow up on their promise and just say, hey, you know what? We see the issue. We're going to attempt to fix it for you. So just a huge shout out to them. Not like they need it, not like it matters, but that meant a lot to me. I will, rock Grand Theft Auto 6, however many years away that is. I'll be in line. Absolutely. So thank you, Rockstar.
I think it's a fucking fantastic story. Ryan, are you watching the trailer?
I already did.
What are you watching now?
You guys talk.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You didn't think that was a cool story?
Yeah.
No. You asked me what I was doing. I was watching literally the panel go side to side. I haven't said a word for like an hour. No, I thought that was a great story. I was actually, pretty impressed. Way to follow up, Louse, man. That's awesome.
Well,
it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it takes a lot to reach out to a company and say, hey, so this happened, and for them to believe you and just say, hey, here you go. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Ryan, this reminds me of a story though of a recent episode. Frankly, the last one when you reached out to a certain company, to find out why the beer was bad. So, Lousman, do you want to be the sequester like Ryan was? So he was asking for the money, and then Ryan, do you want to be the lowly customer service agent that answers the call, and then I'll be your boss if you need to escalate it. I mean, we're talking about 300,000 Grand Theft Auto credits here. If you want to go ahead and role play, if Louse, you can just summarize your letter as if it were a phone call.
Let's
start with ring ring. Please start with ring ring. Ryan, do you want to be the big boss, or do you want me to be the big boss?
Let's see what I can do, and then you step in and just kind of go with it. Okay. All right,
let's go.
This was an email. All right, that's fine.
Bring.
No, he's got to do the bring brings.
Oh,
my phone's ringing. That's weird. Sorry, guys.
Don't call you. You got to call them. Just go email.
Yeah, blink.
You got mail.
Blink. That's right. Email notification.
Ryan, that's you.
Hello.
What? Hello.
I'm sorry. I was just finishing my drink. What can I do for you, sir?
I turned my PlayStation on to play Grand Theft Auto during the 4 or 5 days you told me to, and everyone else got $300,000, and I really would like mine. It's very frustrating for me not to be able to buy the same stuff that all my buddies can.
Well, that's good that you turned it on because that's how you start. But was your internet connected?
Well, yeah, the internet was fine. We played online.
Oh, well, that does make sense. Okay, let me have your account.
I'm not gonna give you that. My address, like my personal address.
How else can I verify that you were online within the 4 to 5 day period that the promotion was running?
It's your server. I have a trophy unlocked. I fell out of a plane from really, really high up.
Okay, so what's your login name?
I'm not doing that.
How am I supposed to know who you are?
It was submitted via email.
Oh, well, why are you calling me?
Hey, who's it?
Who are you talking to?
This guy, he called. He says he sent an email, but now he's calling, but he didn't want to give me any information. I don't know how to pull up his
All right.
account.
Well, I'm. What was the last guy's name? Dick. What's his name? Dick Ritchie over here. Big Dick Ritchie. I'm sorry, sir. You've got a problem with some fake currency that you were requesting.
I need $300,000 because all my buddies have cars.
Or what? Or
Right.
what?
Or I'll keep getting shot on the street because I don't have an apartment.
I don't know. Have you played Grand Theft Auto? 300,000 doesn't do a whole lot for you.
It buys you an apartment. It's not bad.
All right, listen, kid.
For how long? Sorry, take it over, Dick.
All right.
Permanent.
Big Dick Ritchie back here. What would you say to 50,000 and we just call it quits?
No, you can buy anything with $50,000.
Well, I mean, this is Rockstar. We're a big company. We can't afford to shell out money to everybody.
You absolutely can. You do. Like Mega Shark cards are like $80 real money for like 10 million in game.
Oh wait, we're not talking about real money?
No.
Oh hell! Sorry, sir. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm a busy executive type. I thought you were talking about real money. How much money did you want in fake money?
This is roughly like $4 worth of fake money.
Oh, $4 worth.
Yeah.
So, hold on a second, Ryan. Just go ahead and give him 8.
Yeah. Are you sure, sir? He didn't give me his account. I don't know where it's even gonna go.
Just
mail it.
throw 8. Just throw 8 at him. He'll be fine.
Just tell him that it'll be there when he plugs it in.
Just get over the phone. He's killing your call time, please.
Okay. All right. I got it. Dick. I got it from here, Dick. Dick, go away. No, sir. It seems that you've been approved for your request. Where can I send the money to?
I already spent it. I bought a car and I lost it. I need help with that now.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey. I'm the call center manager. I heard you were having an issue. How can we appease your situation, sir?
Would you like me to send you strippers?
I don't want those.
We can actually do that in game, or just give you $1 million. What would you prefer?
I'd like $1 million, then I can afford a big truck.
No, sorry, that offer is passed. Would you like the stripper?
I don't want a stripper.
Would you like the $300,000?
How about a fire-breathing monkey?
They don't have those in that game.
Ryan, stop. No, we don't. Here's your $300,000. Thanks for calling Rockstar. Bye. That's how it went, huh?
Nope, not at all.
See, I was trying to handle that like a professional sales call. I'm sorry.
I was trying to
mistake.
handle that. Yeah, like a parody.
Because
But you can't ask a customer service guy like myself to role play on I need information, man. I need your name, your number.
You're the
your
color
account number.
You're the color from now on. We get it.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I've already spent most of this money on like guns and like vehicles that I've destroyed, so it's okay.
Well, sir, were you involved in our credit application? How have you spent the money?
They do have credit cards. You buy them with real money.
What's the interest rate on those things?
I told you,
absorbing it. Yeah, I'm sure.
10 million for 80 real.
But see, it only takes one big fish for that to pay off. That's all it is. And that is the cycle of the Stan Marsh South Park video game currency. That's really all it is. It's a couple big fish that kick off buying consistently, which sustains the loot boxes for everybody else, right? I mean, that's the whole thing.
I mean, yeah.
That's why EA got turned into the most hated company of all video games.
Yeah.
Well, they messed up with Star Wars.
No, they messed up with things.
With loot boxes. It wasn't just Star Wars. It was every game they had. They had like FIFA or whatever the hell. Like they had them everywhere. It was.
and I'm in Battlefield 1 as well, and just that was a train wreck too. The game was fun.
Train Rizek. But all right, guys. Ryan, you've heard a lot about No Man's Sky. You haven't chimed in at all. Can I please get your 10-second opinion as to what you think this might mean for the franchise?
It's gonna be huge.
Powerful stuff.
I've never played it. I loved the trailer. I thought it was great. I think
we played it together at your house. Remember?
I haven't played it myself. I haven't like fully immersed myself into the universe. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Like the time that you and I played it, we were also playing Dragon Ball Z and everything else. But I love the game concept itself. I've never been immersed into that world to where I can really give a valid point. But if the expansion is going to be as amazing as what you guys have been talking about, then I look forward to taking more fake customer service calls to help people in their space universe. Yeah, exactly.
Well, don't worry, Louse hasn't played the game either.
Yeah, so they owe me a lot of money at this point.
No, they don't owe you anything. This isn't Rockstar, okay? This is
I need 300 space credits.
No, wait, 300? I'll give you 300 right now.
300,000.
No, deals off.
How does that equate to Louse bucks?
This is a good point. Interesting transactional outlook. How does that equate to Louse bucks?
It does. Well, here's the deal. If 300,000 is $8, I've been working once a week or so, and I've been just netting about 50 million into my No Man's Sky account. So it takes about half an hour, 45 minutes, if you farm the right farms and you get the right the mantra down. But yeah, man, you'll enjoy it, I promise. And Ryan, I understand your hesitation. It is a lot to take on. This game it's unlike anything I've ever played before, only because it doesn't tell you anything. You have to literally figure it all out by yourself. But once you start getting the gist of it, it is really a fun experience. And I think that when played with friends that all kind of get it, it will be a very cool game. So I'm excited for it. It comes out again next Wednesday, nationwide for the Xbox, worldwide, really, for the PlayStation, for the Xbox, for the PC. We'll all have this shared universe to explore and to enjoy together. And there is some work coming down the line with the Galactic Hub, which is the largest civilization that is consistent of about, I don't know how many tens or five to 10,000 actual players that actually come together and acknowledge this existence. But I've been engaged with them. We've got an audiobook. We've got a news segment that's coming out. It's going to be a lot of fun working with those guys. So I encourage everybody out there just to take a spin, watch some YouTube videos and see if No Man's Sky is right for you. If not, understand. But I do really just appreciate the drive, the fan base, and the connection that it's kind of caused for me. And hopefully that's when you get into it. And Ryan, one day you'll come around. But boys, before we wrap it up, anything else you want to hit on?
There are flying DeLoreans in Grand Theft Auto these days, just FYI.
Okay, that's better. I get it. I'm just saying.
It's not better. I'm just saying. You can fly around in DeLoreans and
didn't Goku make an appearance too, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, he did, actually. There was a mod. There was a mod for that. It was pretty fantastic.
I would get hooked on that. I would totally play as Goku the entire time.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this
works.
What
car do you need to steal if you can fly everywhere? I mean,
a flying DeLorean is what you should, or a flying motorcycle.
I can remember playing Grand Theft Auto years ago, and I always put on like the anti-gravity.
Yeah, the mod.
That's
dude. Louse, why couldn't they put for Grand Theft Auto? Why couldn't they put actual So if you had a DeLorean, you can go back in time, and everything would just be like reskinned and like an old timey stuff.
That'd be cool.
I mean,
that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be intense. I don't know.
Why have they not thought of this?
I don't know. All I do in that game these days is put on night vision goggles and hide from people.
Could you imagine Grand Theft Auto to like 1960?
Could you imagine back to dinosaur times? It would literally just look like the Flintstones. Who cares? Like, what if it just looked like that if you went that far back? That'd be crazy.
It's deep.
But we're not talking about Grand Theft Auto. And
like
on
Grand Theft Auto in the Civil War time, that'd be cool.
What?
I don't know. No, not there.
Everyone would be freaking out on your horseless carriage. Oh, boy.
Anyway,
No Man's Sky, Scuba Town. I want to go to Scuba Town.
Oh, that's weird that they showed that much underwater view. But anyway, it plays into zero. Like it plays into maybe 3% of the whole game being underwater. But maybe that's more. I think underwater base is what they were trying to get at. So that's the cool thing.
Can I make Scuba Town though?
Yeah, you can. Underwater bases for the first time ever. Scuba Town. Hashtag Scuba Town.
Yeah, find me there. Blowing some bubbles.
All right, boys and girls, we have to wrap things up here. Louseman, where can the good kids find you?
I can be found at Mr. Louseman, tweetings and such.
Tweetings and such. Broodboy813, where can the good people find you?
How do you follow that?
Jeez. It's just
That's
it's like
awesome.
it's the encyclopedic database of tweetings and such.
I'm always blown away by you, Louse Man. I really am. You guys can find
Better
me
than being
on.
blown by him. What?
Wow, that got weird real quick.
That did get
You
real
did
weird.
this.
I did not. We went from tweetings to blowing in like 3 seconds.
I didn't do any of
That's
that.
making it on the blooper reel.
That's y'all.
Instagram, Twitter at Brewboy813, and also on the Facebook page, Craft Brews Geek News. Check us out there. Send us a request to be part of the group and join the discussion every day if you want, because we're always posting stuff there. So
We are gaining steam. Everybody is pleasantly supporting the conversation there and the discussion. So please do join us at the Facebook group, Craft Brews and Geek News. Also leave us a review. We really appreciate everything and all the support that everybody's given us here. We've got a pretty good standing now on iTunes, and we greatly appreciate that. You can check us out on SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, just about everywhere you grab your regular podcast at. You can find me personally at the Brewmasters Club on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Facebook, but primarily in the Facebook group Craft Brews and Geek News, as well as our YouTube channel, which is now dubbed officially Craft Brews and Geek News. Please check us out there. These episodes will also be uploaded to YouTube, so you can view them if you'd like. There's not a lot of video that's accompanied by that, but it is definitely the podcast and your YouTube viewing pleasure. So we appreciate you guys, and as we say at the end of every podcast, someone raise your hand.
Life's like a clothes hanger. Just hang in there.
Okay. Ryan, you don't have anything better, right?
no.
Okay. And on that note,
Wait, or I could.
Oh,
I could reiterate the tweeting to blowing, but I don't know.
oops, mine was better.
Yours was way better.
give us a take. Let's see.
Give us a take on what?
Clean take.
You're tweeting the blowing. Where were you going with that? Let's see.
From the top.
I
Ryan.
was reiterating what I already said. I can't go any further.
Just go
No.
for it. You got it. Clean take.
Okay. All right. Donnie asked me the question.
As we say at the end of every podcast.
How do you face your peers after tweeting and blowing?
There you go. All right. I don't know if I love that one.
No, I don't have it.
You've been listening to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Grab a beer with the guys and be sure to subscribe to catch additional content. Add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. Chat with the guys on Twitter at Brewmasters Club and Facebook and online at www.brewmasters.club. Cheers!